Hello, everyone. Welcome to Birminology on Lettermen Row. I am your host, Jeremy Birmingham. It is a special edition of the show. It's a commitment edition with Ohio State's latest 2021 commitment. A player that has been on the show before, North Gwinnett High School in Suwanee, Georgia, Jordan Hancock. Thanks, Jordan, for taking some time. Your announcement just happened on the internet. You're officially in the Ohio State class, right where you thought a year ago you would have been all along. Obviously, there was some twists and turns in the road. You had committed to Clemson and decided that you were going to change your mind. This is really the first time people are hearing from you since that decision, which you didn't even announce a decommitment. It kind of got leaked out for you, I guess, unfortunately. How are you feeling, I guess? I mean, how did you handle all this stress in the last week?
It was a really hard decision. From decommitting from Clemson, I was really tight with the coaching staff, but it's nothing but love. The Clemson is just a better opportunity for me. I feel like for me and my family is a better opportunity somewhere else, which is Ohio State.
You told me the day you committed to Clemson, I was actually in the car on my way home from North Carolina, where I had spent a day in Virginia with Travion Henderson and then a day with Evan Pryor. And you committed while I was driving home, and I got a text message from both of those guys going, "Oh my gosh, Jordan just committed to Clemson," and everyone was kind of stunned. And you told me that day that you had always thought you were going to end up committing to Ohio State. What's changed? I guess not necessarily in the micro, not in the little picture with you and Clemson, you and Ohio State, but is there a moment or a moment or two in the last 5 months where you were like, 4 months now, where you were like, hey, maybe I hurried, maybe I hurried my decision?
Yeah, how I felt. I might have hurried my decision, emotional decision. That's how I kind of looked at it months later for my decision with Clemson, and now, yeah, that's basically it. It was just an emotional decision. I thought staying home would be good for me and my family, but it didn't work out that way.
I mean, how does your family feel about that? Obviously, there's a difference between a 90-minute drive to see you on campus or a 90-minute flight to see you on campus, which is what Ohio State would be.
Yeah.
How did your mom, your dad, how did the family react to that? Because they knew you that Ohio State was a place that you had a special feeling for all along. So, was there a moment for them where they were like, hey, maybe Jordan is not following his heart here? I mean, how did they handle that?
They handled it when I made the decision. They kind of brought it up to me when I was committed to Clemson, that we should maybe look at different places, at different schools and stuff like that. So they brought it to my attention. So I made the commitment, and my parents, they're 100% with it. They love it.
You have not been back to Ohio State since you were there last November. You did, I assume, at this point, get an opportunity to do like a virtual tour, Zoom call with the staff in the last few days from the time you decommitted to the announcement today. What is it about the relationship that you've had with Ryan Day, Kerry Combs, Al Washington, Matt Barnes, the commits in the Ohio State 2021 class? Like, what made this special for you? Because it seemed to me, and I took a lot of heat. I don't know if you pay attention to the internet or not, Jordan, but I took a lot of heat back in February because I said I really thought eventually you would end up committing to Ohio State because it just seemed like that's where you wanted to be. What was it that made that relationship different for you?
What made it different for me personally is when Coach Day offered me, I wasn't even ranked or anything. Yeah, he told me, never forget who loved you first. That's his exact words in his office when he offered me, after he offered me. So just that plays in my decision. It went a long way. And with Coach Combs, his first day or his second day, he got in the office to Ohio State after coming back from the NFL. He visited my school. His first visit to school was my school, and it just made me a priority. And since I was committed to Clemson, they said that they respected my decision. It wasn't negatively recruiting me or anything. It was just they had a lot of respect for me for my decision, and we just kept in touch, and that's what made a difference.
You bring up negative recruiting, and I want to touch on that just a little bit because I think it's important that people who are watching this, and I know there's going to be Ohio State fans watching, Clemson fans, other teams fans, this idea that Ohio State had to negatively recruit you is some sort of ridiculous because, as you mentioned, like the relationship between you and Ohio State was different from the very start. Was there any sense on your end that they were trying to make you think less of Clemson, or was it just a simple matter of the relationship with the guys in the class, the commits that you talk to every day, even when you're committed to Clemson? The coaching staff who you talk to every day, even when you're committed to Clemson, did they need to say anything negative, or was that even a part of this process?
No, they didn't say anything bad on Clemson's part. We really didn't talk about Clemson. They thought it was a great decision for me to go to Clemson. Honestly, they just had a lot of respect for me for that. But it was just us keeping in touch, asking how the family is, how the family's doing, and simple stuff like that. It's just a great relationship we have.
You've made this decision now. It's done and behind you. These 5 days, I think there was a lot of nervousness in Columbus as they kind of waited to see what happened because, there are still schools like Alabama and Florida State who you were very interested in before you committed. How does this feel? Does it feel the same to you as it did when you committed to Clemson? Does it feel different? Is there a different weight off your shoulders? Is this it? Are you locked down? What happens from here for Jordan Hancock?
Honestly, it feels the same how I committed to Clemson because at Clemson I had no interest on decommitting. I mean, you never want to do that, but I just had to do what I had to do that's best for me and my family. So when I committed to Ohio State, it's just I'm done. Like, it's a great decision for me and my family.
You told me that you had Ohio State PlayStation controllers and blankets and all those things. Did you throw those away? Did you get rid of them? Do you put them in a box in your closet? Where are those things now?
They're still in the same place where I had them. Yeah, I play on my Ohio State controller every day. My mom sleeps when she would sleep on the couch, like while watching a movie or something during the day, she would like put on the Ohio State blanket and go to sleep. Yeah, so we didn't do anything with it. It just stayed in my house.
When you were on the episode of Birminology previously, this was end of December, beginning of January. We talked about you and Barrett Carter, who's your teammate and one of your best friends, teammate at North Gwinnett. He's committed to Clemson. You guys both, when Barrett was on the show, you guys both were talking pretty adamantly that there was a package deal. You guys were going to play together. Are you starting to realize why that is so challenging to say, but yet, you may want that to happen, but to realize why it doesn't always work out that way?
I mean, we just had to go our separate ways. I mean, I'm with Barrett right now. He's downstairs at my friend Seth's house. Yeah, we're both at my friend Seth's house, and he's downstairs and stuff. But we just kept a good relationship. But it was kind of hard. I mean, it is a hard decision to play with your best friend, and we just couldn't go out with it or go through with it.
For people out there who are watching, because I've already, as soon as the news of the decommitment happened, people started to send me messages. Does this mean Barrett Carter could possibly end up at Ohio State? Let's just put that to bed. Let's put that to bed for Barrett. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So anyone out there who's thinking that that's a possibility, it's not. This is a Jordan Hancock deal and a Barrett Carter deal. And if they end up on the same field in college, it's going to be in the college football playoff. Have you guys started talking about those games when they inevitably come? Because it seems like Ohio State and Clemson are staying on that collision course, right?
We haven't. It's been so close. Like, we haven't had time to talk about playing against each other. We haven't even thought about that because we're out there practicing, doing 7-on-7s and workouts, running 40s and stuff like that. So that hasn't really been on our mind.
I got to ask, Jordan, like with the way this summer went, okay, the coronavirus, all the quarantines, the lack of recruiting, visits and that kind of stuff. Do you think that being somewhat forced to stay home has actually given you more time to think about why ultimately you wanted to pick Ohio State in the long run? Like, or do you think that it would have been easier to stay committed to Clemson if you would have been able to have a normal summer? Does that make any sense? Am I just
it makes. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I probably would have stayed committed to Clemson because I would have kept on visiting because it's a 90-minute drive.
Right.
So me staying home, being quarantined, just thought, am I really making the best decision for me and my family? So yeah, that played a big role.
You've said that a few times that Ohio State was the better decision, a better opportunity for you. Where do you see yourself fitting in? What's the role you see yourself playing at the Ohio State defense? What is it about what they do and what Kerry Combs has done that, as a defensive back in a class that already had 5 defensive backs, what made that the right fit for you?
Basically, I'm going to come in and play that slot corner, which Shaun Wade played last year. So I'll come in and play that slot corner. Then when I get older, move out to outside corner, and that's what they're playing with me basically. So I'm going to get a lot of minutes and play a big role my freshman year. So I'm going to have to be ready.
And you and Ja'Kalen Johnson are the true cornerbacks in this class. And privy to some information, I know that on the Ohio State big board of cornerbacks, the top 2 were Jordan Hancock and Ja'Kalen Johnson. How much have you and JK talked to each other about this, about, lining up together? You're the last time Ohio State signed 2 top 100 cornerbacks in a class was 2017. That was Jeff Okudah and Shaun Wade. Like, do you guys realize the weight of the pressure that you're walking into, and are you wanting that? Because it seems like you are.
I mean, pressure's going to be anywhere you go. When you step on the field, you're going to be wearing an Ohio State uniform, so that's pressure anyway. So, I mean, it's not a big deal to me. I don't know about JK, but it's not a big deal to me. But once you put on the scarlet and gray, it's a big deal. So,
are you as a player? And I'm going to let people in, little inside baseball here. As I was working on your commitment graphic, I had mocked up a thing using a Jeffrey Okudah body and put Jordan's face and number and stuff on it. And he said he didn't want to use that because he was afraid Buckeye fans would think he was trying too hard or being, too arrogant. But I've talked to people about you, and the comparison that they keep bringing up is a Jeff Okudah, is a Shaun Wade. That has to be pretty surreal for a kid who, as you said, when Ohio State offered you last November, when Jason Kwan and Jeff Hafley were the ones that were driving the bus in your recruitment, you were relatively unknown at the time. Like, has it really hit you as to how much your world has changed in the last 9 months?
Yeah, it has, because I know why my recruiting got on board is because Ohio State. So, yeah, I really have realized that. So,
are you hoping that Seven Banks has a giant junior season and leaves for the NFL early so that the number 7 is available?
I don't know. I mean, getting number 7 will be pretty good, but I feel like I can wear any number and look good in it. So that's not really a big deal to me.
What happens from here? I mean, obviously you guys are hoping to have a senior season of football down in Georgia. It looks like you're going to, as Georgia is one of the states that seems pretty committed to playing football. Are you then, is it early enrolling in the plans? What do you see happening from here? What if you can't visit Ohio State?
I mean, if I can't visit Ohio State, oh well, I'm still going to be committed and hopefully sign. And I will be signing with Ohio State in December. But I really don't know. I mean, hopefully senior year we can go out with the state championship. I mean, I feel like we can do that with our coaching staff and the players we're bringing in, or the players we've played with our whole life. We finally have that connection our senior year. So hopefully I can win a state championship and think about that later on.
I'm going to let you get out of here soon, Jordan, but I want to ask, what type of impact did people like Travion Henderson have in this process for you in the last few months? Because again, Travion is a person who's never visited Ohio State. So you have, he's never been there. And yet somehow he's turned into the absolute vocal leader of the class for Ohio State, along with Ben Chrisman. What type of impact did those guys make? Because I know, we always hear about kids wanting to play with their friends and they like the relationships, but you guys seem to have a totally different kind of connection.
Just the connection. It's not even talking about we talk about winning championships and stuff, but when I was committed to Clemson, it wasn't negatively recruiting, I said. So it was just like hopping on the game, just asking how the family's doing and stuff like that, and that went a long way. So that's really it. All the commits, basically.
And do you intend to enroll early? Is that in the works?
I have all my credits done. I plan on enrolling early, but we just got to see with the coronavirus and stuff like that.
What did you think of the decision by Tony Grimes to reclassify? I mean, is that something that people in your position, I mean, you're a top 45 player in the country. Is that, if you have all your credits, is that a thought in your mind?
I'll say no. I plan on, because I really want to play with my friends my senior year, and so hopefully go out with a state championship. So early or reclassifying up isn't an option for me. But for Tony, it could be a really good decision for him, because I know UNC really needs cornerbacks, and he's going to come in and make an impact. And I have a really good relationship with him, so I know what his plans and what his goals are at UNC. So I feel like it's a good decision for him.
Well, Jordan, look, man, I really wanted to say congratulations on your decision. I know you have big goals for your career and your time at Ohio State. Now a part of the country's top-ranked recruiting class, and one that it's going to take a lot of work for anyone to knock you guys off as the best class in the country. So congratulations again. Thanks for taking some time to join us on Birminology, and we'll talk to you sometime in the near future, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Go Bucks.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest videos from Lettermen Row.
We got Letterman Live, we've got the practice report, we got rapid reaction. Hey, and we got Buckeye IQ with Zach Bourne.
For sure. We got recruiting breakdowns with Berm. We got whatever you need. Ohio State football and Ohio State athletics, we've got you covered here at Lettermen Row.